Hey there, fellow marketers. Professor Wolters here, and today we're going to talk about some of the ways that you can be more successful in social media. And the first, really, the biggest tip to success, the one reason people say, why aren't people watching my videos? Why aren't people subscribed to my channel? Why don't we have more likes and followers and stuff like that? Well, it comes down to this one super key thing. Never forget, content is king. It doesn't matter if you're a fat guy or a bald guy or something else. If you've got good content, people will watch it. People will read it. People will do things with it if it's good. If you're not making good content, people aren't going to enjoy it. You know, it's kind of like, look, if you have bad audio, your picture's all fuzzy or other things, people aren't going to watch. They got other options out there. There's 300,000 TV channels and there's billions, it seems like billions of videos to choose from and all the streaming services. Why should they waste their time on you? Well, it really comes down to remembering content is king. So put the effort into there. Do the research. Use the videos. Use the music. Use the stuff to make the best content possible. And that's going to give you a better chance to be successful. Because you know what? If your videos suck, I mean, yeah, okay, some crazy, horrible videos do get popular and they do go viral. But in general, if you got bad stuff, people aren't going to watch. So it really comes down to content is king. And for all those people going, why is no one watching my videos? Well, ask yourself, when you watch that video, when you read your post, would you want to watch that video? Would you want to read that post? Or is it just because you made it, you want them to do that? You got to think about those things, okay? Now, another tip for success in social media is make sure you're paying attention to these social signals. That means know what's trending in society, know what's important to society, know what is important to your audience. You want to see what they're talking about. So when it came to COVID, when it started, you know what? We didn't put out travel videos the first month we were there because look, no one should be traveling. We should be all staying home, right? This kind of stuff. So you got to adjust those signals. Now, over time, yeah, you can put out some content like before, but you really got to see, it's like, look, right now, we want to make sure people are staying home. So what do? We started doing live feeds, so helping people that were sitting at home every Wednesdays and Saturdays. We started making, fun quarantine videos like the don'ts of quarantine, or, hey, what do I do if my flight's been canceled? We put out content that related to that because that's what's going on in society. Now, as time went through, as the quarantine stuff kind of let up or changed, people wanted to have more like escapism content. Look, I just want to watch something that's not bad news. And so the social signal was, hey, could you put out some travel stuff? Could you put out some other things? So we started putting out travel content for different crazy destinations that no one's really thinking about going to, because right now no one's planning a trip. They're just looking for crazy things to take their mind off it. So you know what? We're going to talk about what you do on a safari and what is Haarlem, the Netherlands, and stuff like that. You do that, and so it's really important you're really paying attention to those social signals. So make sure you're listening to your audience. Make sure you're looking at what's trending, and make sure you're interacting with your audience as well, because then you're going to start to see is what do they want? What do they want now? And we need to adjust to that, because sometimes they don't want your normal content. They want something else. And sometimes they know, I want the old faithful, okay? Sometimes you just want that red can Coca-Cola. Oh man, sometimes just hits the spot, right? And so you kind of think about those things. Now, another thing that's going to be helpful in making you successful in social media is make sure you're developing champions, or I would say developing advocates for your brand online. Those really big super fans about your products and stuff like that, help them out. Let them have some free stuff. Share their posts and things like that. Let people know that, hey, this person loves our product and we appreciate them for doing that. And the thing is, you got to realize if you have your brand or your restaurant or your store has people that love it, they're going to love it not just at the store, but on social media. And you want them to go out there and write those reviews, share their posts, share the pictures of the food they got for takeaway during the quarantine. Look, El Patio is still open. You can still get their queso. Like, do those things, and that's going to help. And when you develop those champions, you develop those advocates, they're going out and they're spreading the word of your brand. They're writing those comments, they're writing those reviews, they're helping people know about your stuff. And that's what's really helpful. And that's how you really become successful in social media, when people are being social about your brand or your channels and this kind of stuff, okay? And another thing I think is with your audience, the next tip I have for being successful is make sure you know who your audience is on each of the different platforms and realize they are different, and you need to tailor your kind of offerings to them. So I know for me on YouTube, it's going to be 70% male, 30% female. But when I go on Facebook, it's actually over 50% female and like 45% male. And then Instagram, it's different. The age groups, what people are looking for, and you really want to tailor your content towards those things. Okay, and so you realize, maybe I need to do something differently, and it may be how people take things in. That's why you'll see people that have really big Facebook followings might not have a very good YouTube following, because people watch things differently. Like Facebook is more like, short, funny videos. You want to be short, you want to be quick. People are going to share a short video. No one's going to share a 50-minute video. YouTube, yeah, you can have a whole long lecture on there because people go there to watch that because they're going there specifically to watch YouTube videos. Whereas in Facebook, I'm scrolling through and there happens to be a video, and so the content you're going to create for that audience might be different. So you really got to think about these things and tailor it to them, okay? Now, another thing I think is important is know who those influencers are. Again, going back to those brand champions and advocates, but also in other things for your company in general, who overall influences your industry. And maybe we need to work with them. Maybe we need to include them in our programs. That's why you had all this influencer marketing in travel, in beauty, and stuff like that, because they really were directing people to go to different travel destinations. They were directing people in ordering which kind of shampoo to wear and things like that. You want to think about that. You want to know who those people are and see what they're doing, and maybe you can do your own versions of that, but also sometimes you want to work with them because you see that, look, as much as we say that visiting Chicago is great, unless some big travel YouTubers go there, they're not going to really inspire people to check it out. That's why you'll see a bunch of like YouTubers from travel will be going to the same destinations at the same time. Why? Because the destination is trying to bring a bunch of people in, so there's a lot of different things out there. I've seen a lot of times, last year it was, all the stands had stuff, and before that it was the Icelands in India, and before that, it's kind of like goes in these waves, and we see those things, okay? So think about those influencers, think about how you can collaborate with them and work with them, and that can help you out, okay? Now, another thing I think is really important, and I've talked about this before, but it really is kind of the most important part of social media, and that is making sure you are really truly engaging with your audience as much as you can. It's not just engaging with your super fans or those influencers. It's also the little guy, the little gal, the little person that is, just puts one little thing out, once writes one little review. You know what? They mean something too. And if you're interacting with them, that shows that, look, I don't just care about the people that are huge things that can get people to buy my products, but I also care about normal clients as well, normal people on our channels. That's really going to help you out, because then people see, wow, they're talking to me too. Think about it. Have any of you ever posted to like Casey Neistat or Epic Rap Battles of History or something like that, and then they love it or they like it or they comment back to you? You're like, oh, that's so cool. They did. I know ERB, they commented back to me. I'm like, awesome. That was so cool. And I still remember it. It was like 2 years ago. You have this kind of goodwill you're going to build by engaging. So make sure you are engaging with your audience. And another thing I think is important when you're looking at being successful in social media is also how you think about your interactions with people. You want to think images. Yes, words are nice, but people like images better. Kind of like, have you ever noticed like your probably most liked post on Facebook they give you every year is a picture, not some like philosophical quote or something like that? No. And so you want to kind of think about, hey, what's the image I want to project of my brand, but also what the images I want to use in order to dazzle people, to get people excited about my products, to get them to want to be there. What are those things? That's why the thumbnails on videos are very important to entice people to click. The little picture that shows up next to the search on a blog is important. You got to think of the visuals that go along with it. How many of you have learned way more from reading infographics than you had from reading a book? These things happen. I remember when I was a kid, I would get the USA Today and I'd go straight to their infographics on the bottom left of the page because I learned some silly fact because it was in visual form. So always be thinking of the visual. How can I make it a more visual experience for people? Because that's what they're going to like. That's what people tend to like more, okay? And then my last thing, and this is one thing I harp on so many videos, is look, if you want to be successful in social media, you got to have a social media plan and you got to stick to it. Your social media plan, the content you're going to make, who you're going to make it for, platforms you're going to be on, when you're going to do it, when you're going to post, who's going to make it, all this stuff. You have all these things written out, and we have videos going over that. But you have all this written out, you have that schedule, you have that plan, and you stick to it so people know when to expect your content, what kind of content to expect. Because if you're throwing all these crazy things out there, people don't know, is this a humor channel? Is this a food channel? What is this thing? you want to make sure you're sticking with the plan. Okay, so I hope these tips can help you be more successful with your social media, whether you're a brand, whether you're a person, whether you're an organization, a company, whatever. I hope it can help. So I wish you all the best, and bye.